Okay. Well, I want to go ahead and get started so that we can, I know there aren't a whole lot of folks here, but I love what Jace does and so excited to have Jace on this call. I don't know if you folks know me, Betty Marcon. I am the High Road Restaurants community manager. I work on the East Coast. That's my region, and I'm currently living in New Hampshire. I work in Oh, right now we're working on a ballot measure in Massachusetts to pass one fair wage, eliminate the sub-minimum wage with tips on top, and allow for tip sharing within the rest of the House. Just like New York, Massachusetts is one of the only two states that does not allow tip sharing even when you're paying the one full wage. So we're working on that in Massachusetts right now, and I really wanted to create a call that would be really focused on something that was important to restaurant owners in New York. And I'm going to let Jace introduce themselves so I don't have to go into too much detail. And Jace can tell you a little bit more about what Herd is all about. And I'm going to ask.
Got it. Okay. Well, thank you for the intro and hello, everyone. Hello, everyone that watches this recording in the future. Um, I'm Jace. I have actually been working in the New York City restaurant industry for the last 4 years. I've been working in restaurants. I've been doing pop-ups. I've been working food styling and events. But before that, I was actually working in the tech industry, building software and helping scale companies. And so it's a bit of an interesting transition coming from tech to New York City restaurant scene, but one that allowed me to visualize and see a lot of things that didn't match up with the industry I was coming from and provided a bit of an opportunity to learn and to look for problems that could be solved. And let me just share the screen with you all. Um, so, One of the first things, which I'm sure all of you owners are very, very aware of, that I noticed was that, oh my gosh, all of my coworkers are leaving after a few months, and I'm staying at establishments shorter than I had in the tech world. And so I look around and I go, is this just a me problem and my friend's problem and my coworkers' problem, or is this an industry-wide thing? So did a bit of research, and sure enough, this is an industry-wide problem. The turnover rate is 75% annually, which is around 12, 13 million employees are turning over every single year. Now, the estimated cost of that for your average restaurant is around $71,000 a year. Um, so this is a big deal for a lot of restaurants, and it is unique to the restaurant industry itself, because the turnover rate in the restaurant industry is actually 68% higher than the national average. So we sit way, way outside of the national average when it comes to turnover. So I go, well, why is everybody turning over? That's a problem worth researching. And it's nothing you wouldn't expect, right? It's things like low pay, bad culture, difficult manager, difficult coworkers, commutes, all these things that we expect. But then again, we have to ask ourselves, why us? These problems exist in every other industry as well. So why are we, the restaurant industry, still such an outlier? And what our research has shown us is that it's a transparency and a branding problem. Where the example I like to give is you have two employees and you have two restaurants. One employee is fresh out of culinary school and he just wants to learn from a great chef. Another employee wants to find somewhere that offers healthcare benefits. You have a restaurant that offers learning opportunities and a restaurant that offers healthcare benefits. If you have the kid fresh out of culinary school, go to the one with healthcare, and you have the person who's looking for healthcare, go to the one with learning opportunities. They're going to be at a restaurant that is not offering the benefits and the needs that they're looking to have fulfilled. And that's happening on a pretty wide scale right now because there's not transparency and information on a wide scale around what your individual restaurant is offering in terms of benefits. So people typically just reach out and they grab whatever job they hear about from a friend or they find online. They take it, they find out it's not offering what they're looking for, and they leave. So that's sort of where we come in. We're looking to clear away that confusion, help increase transparency so that you and your restaurant that offers unique benefits can find the employees that are looking for those unique benefits. So if you have an amazing chef who loves to teach, you want those kids out of culinary school because that's what they're looking for. If you offer amazing healthcare benefits, you want to attract employees that are looking to get healthcare benefits, right? We're looking to increase that match. And the way we do that is providing more information on who you are as an employee and what you're offering. Um, so an example to show you actually what we're doing in practicality right now is we've built this site under called Kitchen Confidentials under the umbrella of Herd. And what workers can do today, about 3,000 New York City restaurant workers a month come on this platform and use it to evaluate the employers in their area, what they're offering in terms of benefits, and to document their experiences. So if I was a restaurant worker and I wanted to learn about different establishments in my neighborhood over here, I would, let's click this one, it's right in front of us, right? And I'm immediately going to see information that other restaurants workers posted about working here, right? I can read through this. I can understand their perspectives, their opinions. I can see what they're being paid. And then I can compare this to job descriptions and to other information online. Um, and I can also see, oh, what's their schedule flexibility like? Are employees satisfied? Do they improve of management? And what we're trying to accomplish here is with each additional review that's submitted on our platform, it becomes more and more apparent of what each restaurant is offering in terms of benefits. So, what we like to encourage restaurants themselves to do is encourage your employees to come on this platform and talk about what it's like to work for you. Because then the next time an employee passes through our platform, trying after seeing your job posting, they'll understand, oh, the employees love working here. That's a place I want to be a part of. This place offers a 401k, and now that's easily understandable. Or they offer health care, and I know they actually give it, and the pay that people are reporting matches the pay on the job description. So that's what we're working on right now. And an additional feature that we're trying to build is understanding what the restaurant is like is only one piece of the equation to solving that turnover problem. The other piece is finding the employees, right, that match the needs of the restaurant. And what I think we are all used to is a resume like this that tells you very little information on what the employee is like, what their past experience is, whether they know how to cook or they don't. So, as part of the continuation of the platform, we're actually building out profiles of workers, and this is a real worker, a real profile, and we think that this will help you as restaurant owners find the right people for your establishments as well, and provide you a bit of a better experience when filtering through applications. And the way this works is you can see where they're working now. You can see what neighborhood they're going to be commuting from, their contact details. You can see them in action in the kitchen. Um, you get all of those past resume details of where they've worked. Um, we've done some research. All of the heavy text that's typically on a text resume under each establishment doesn't really provide value to the people we talk to. So let's just shorten that up. You can see videos of them in action if they want to post that. Um, For me, as somebody who has hired line cooks, I'm looking at their station, seeing how clean it is, seeing how their saute skills are. You get these little tidbits of their personality, right? So we prompt them with questions like this. The most underrated skill for a cook is being able to stay calm during all points, even rushes. Right? This is all about highlighting their personality and who they are so you can make a better decision when hiring. And on the opposing side, we also want to bring additional features like this to the restaurants themselves. So we can jump into here, right? Same thing, and you can be matching with each other where all right. Well, this place offers medical, dental, vision. They offer 401k, paid time off, dining discounts, right? If an employee who's looking for any of these things see this, that's going to be a huge plus to them. Scroll down, see some personality, see reviews actual employees have made here, understand what it's like to be a server at this restaurant, the actual tasks that you're going to be doing, and more of these personality type questions of how many covers a night do you do? Schedule flexibility, satisfaction, right? As a cook, I can look at all of these knife cuts and know that I'm going to be, expected to have a lot of precision, right? So these are the things we're working on. And I like to think of all of this as increasing the ability for a restaurant to brand itself, because the current formats don't quite allow for an employee to properly understand who you are as a restaurant and what you offer in terms of culture. And the conversations that we're seeing on our platform and that we're having our users is that that is actually one of the biggest things that they are worried about in this day and age is how am I going to be treated at this restaurant? What makes this restaurant unique? So we're sort of transitioning out of this area of these heavy text-based job descriptions that are now being generated by AI that don't provide much personality. And what we're trying to do is change that conversation and change that narrative so that both the restaurant workers and the restaurant owners have a better way to showcase their unique skills, unique benefits, and have a more truthful, honest, transparent conversation with one another. Um, so that is that's what we're working on. I know that there's a link included in this description so you can go on and explore for yourself, as well as my email if you want to reach out directly. But wanted to see if Betty had any questions
Yeah,
or
well,
oh,
yeah, I'd love to open up the floor for some questions. I just think this is such a great opportunity for restaurants to play up their employment brand and to really give them an opportunity to use that employment brand to attract workers. And I think I'm curious also how many users you've seen on the platform overall.
yeah. So we our annual user count is around 90,000.
Annual.
Yes, yes. And on a month-to-month basis, it can fluctuate heavily anywhere between 2 to 10,000 users a month, just depending on how we're doing on marketing, if somebody's gone viral, talking about us, and all of those fun modern day marketing things.
Mm-hmm.
But
Um,
I can,
yeah, I'm putting the Kitchen Confidential's website link here, but tell me about a little bit about Herd and how you see that. You see Herd as being more of the umbrella that will include those extra pieces that you're creating, right?
yeah, that's a great question. So when we originally started this, it was a super, super simple website where if any of you have ever used Rate My Professor back in the day, that was my inspiration, where you can go on, you can find a restaurant, and you can leave a piece of text below the title of the restaurant. And we've been expanding on that a little bit, but it's all focused around this. You find your restaurant, you leave information on it. But as we grow and as we try to solve additional problems, we've realized that that's just one small piece of solving this greater problem and improving the industry. And um, so we've expanded into a parent company called Herd, which now offers the review feature, and we're going to start offering those profile features as well as a new way to find and attract candidates and showcase yourself. And there's a long, long list of other things that we want to build into this as well, and those will all sort of be under the umbrella of Herd.
Excellent. Excellent. Do we have any specific questions from anyone? Mike, or anyone else?
I
What
missed
was
the
the
very
name of the app again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can find it online by just typing in kitchenconfidentials.com. And Betty posted a link in the chat there, it looks like.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm on the phone call, so I can't see any screen, so that's why I had to ask. I'm sorry about that.
It's
Oh,
okay.
fair.
I can also forward it to you in an email as well, in a
Yes,
follow.
that would be perfect.
Yeah. Mike?
well, just I missed the very beginning because I came in a few minutes late, but the basic premise is that this is sort of a social media driven place to post job listings, right? Or vice versa for people that are looking for work to post resumes.
A better description, you're close. A better description might be this is a place for both employees and restaurants to engage with one another to showcase their unique benefits, right? So what makes us a bit different from that description is at this point in time, the workers are actually the ones submitting information about the restaurants themselves. So they're reporting what they get paid, what it's like to work there. They're engaging with one another. And then as we continue to grow, we're adding the ability for the restaurants themselves to come into that conversation and add to their profile, engage with those people talking, look at their profiles and resumes and all of that.
Yeah.
Right. So, um, I've been on Rate My Professor, and sometimes there are sets of useful reviews that give you sort of a good picture. This is what the workload is like. This is what the teacher's personality is like. And sometimes there's just a string of really snarky, she gave me a C. And so what prevents this from sort of degenerating into bitterwaiter.com and just sort of a place for people to kvetch?
Yeah, that's such a great question.
And Mike, I had that very same question to Jace a year ago when we met for the first time. I was like, how can this not be just a kind of a kvetch scene, right?
Right.
Well, first off, I gotta state some statistics, which is that the 60% of our reviews and information submitted is actually positive. Because I was a little bit worried about this at the beginning. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But one of the things we focus on is asking more information about just what are you paid, what's your schedule flexibility like, and not trying to entice people to rate things that are more subjective or Tukovich. And I think one of the best protections against this actually is quantity, just like a Google reviews for your business. The more quantity there is, the easier it is to tell who's making something up, who's just tired and wants to complain, and who's actually submitting useful information. But from talking with our users and just from looking at what reviews have been submitted, it does seem like employees are primarily concerned with posting information that's going to help other people. They see an opportunity to help, an opportunity to improve the industry. And while that's not everyone, it does seem to be the majority. So we're just trying to keep up that energy, do what we can to keep things moving in that direction.
Mhm. Also, Jace originally began this this project with, national exposure, like looking at lots of different restaurants across the country, but chose to concentrate in New York City or New York, the five boroughs, I'd imagine.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, and how has that transition worked for you? And what are you seeing?
Yeah, it's been good. It allows us to bring what we've been able to do now is bring in more information that's available outside of what the employees are offering us. So one of the things that our users are telling us is actually very useful, especially from the back of house front, is we've been able to bring in the sanitation scores for every single restaurant in New York City. So being an X-line cook, you don't want to necessarily work for the place with C. There's probably other things going on. But being local allows us to do more things of that nature. It allows us to bring in photos of the restaurant, right? Um, and it also allows for more word of mouth communication between our users, where at the national stage, right, we're always concentrated around cities, but now you work at a restaurant, and you're probably going to meet somebody who has used our website. And it's not one of the things that was causing a bit of stress to our user was that they felt like they were going to be the first person to use this website and the first voice out there. And they might feel uncomfortable that there might be some sort of retaliation or some sort of ill will if they shared their honest truth, even if it was a pretty honest and not negative opinion. And what being based in New York has allowed us to do is make people feel more comfortable, engaging with one another, pull in more local specific information.
So, what can restaurant owners do to kind of help you move this process along with the video, the resumes or the connections? I mean, where do we go now?
Yeah, so the two things I would want to get out there. Number one is to encourage your workers to come onto this platform and leave a review. We're still pretty new. And so the sooner you get ahead of things, the sooner you get all of your employees leaving reviews, it's really going to make you stand out on our platform. Um, and what that also is going to allow you to do is see what your employees are saying about working for you, allow you to make improvements or to keep doing the good things that you're doing. So definitely encourage you to encourage your employees. And the other thing is it's not actually public yet, but we're building a database of one of those employee profiles I've shown you. So we're starting with line cooks, and then we'll move on to bartenders and then expand from there, but the more technical type jobs in a restaurant. So if you're interested in reviewing resumes in that type of format, you can reach out to me via email, and I can send you some of those profiles if you're looking for new hires. Can send me your employees even, and we'd be happy
Okay.
to generate those on behalf of your employees as well.
Oh, that sounds great. Good. Like, thank you so much, Jace, for this presentation. Um I hope a lot of people can watch this going forward, and I'll share it with any restaurant owners who weren't able to make it to the call because I so appreciate all that you do, and I love Kitchen Confidentials. It's great. So
Yeah, well, thank you so much for inviting me here to speak. And thank you everybody else for listening and asking questions. Really do appreciate it.
great, great. Thank you.